I don't know how people film before coffee. Drinking my Bomar Nutrition Greens. I drink this every morning. It makes me feel good about getting in some more vitamins, but I definitely don't think that you need this as a supplement. So before I sat down to get some work done answering client emails and drafting a new blog post, I just chilled on the couch while I let the caffeine from my first cup of coffee absorb. I wish I could say I have some brilliant morning habit of reading or journaling, but oftentimes I just answer Instagram DMs. So my family got a new puppy the day before I shot this video. Her name is Mia. So right now in prep, I don't have any formal cardio. I just have 10,000 steps a day. So ever since quarantine started, I've been going for a walk around my family's neighborhood lake, and that's where my god-awful tan has come from. But I try to get 5,000 steps in the morning, and then the rest of the steps just kind of come naturally as I'm walking about, especially as I'm going to the gym now, getting a lot more steps in that way. So when I get back from the walk, I'm gonna make breakfast. I practice intermittent fasting. I've been doing it for about 2 years now. It's just a way for me to eat more later in the day, and I prefer that option. It's not like a magic pill that will make you lose more weight quickly or anything. I'm getting ready to make my first meal of the day, which is carrot cake cauliflower oats. The recipe is on my blog. What I'm gonna do first, I'm going to put 85 grams of frozen cauliflower in a microwave safe bowl, and then I'm going to microwave it for about 1.5 minutes until it warms up, and I find that that helps get rid of like most of the cauliflower flavor. I'm going to put in 85 grams of carrots. I'm going to take this better oat packet and put it in. And now in goes the microwaved cauliflower. And now I'm gonna put in a bunch of spices. So I'm gonna put in some cake batter extract, and then pumpkin pie spice, and then some cinnamon. And then I like to do about 60 grams of cookie dough skinny syrup. And I'm just gonna fill this up with water until it's pretty much covered. Then you're gonna cook this on medium-low heat until it starts to thicken up. Okay, so when it's about this thick, you're gonna add your egg whites to it. Going to add in about 175 grams. And then you're just gonna keep stirring until it's thickened up again. And when it's super thick like this, then you'll take it off the heat and pour it in a bowl. Topping time. I always top my carrot cake oats with a few grams of Hit Nutrition's Jet Black Cocoa. And I always put some sort of all-American butter on top. This morning I'm using Sugar Pie Honey Chunk almond butter. And then I put some Walden Farms pancake syrup on top. This is a calorie-free pancake syrup. So this is my first meal. This is carrot cake cauliflower oats. The recipe is on my blog, and it's my favorite breakfast to have in prep because, as you can see, the bowl is giant and it's got protein from the egg whites in it. It's got a lot of volume from the cauliflower rice and the carrots, and it's really slow digesting because of the oats. So this is the breakfast that I have every single morning right now. What I'll do, I'll just change up the all-American butter that I put on it, and sometimes instead of making carrot cake oats, I'll make different flavors and variations, but I always have some sort of cauliflower oats every morning for breakfast. I just can't get enough. And the few times that I've not had oats for breakfast, I've gotten hangry very quickly. So this is what I love to eat every morning in prep. and probably out of prep too. So I just finished eating breakfast and now I need to prep the marinade for dinner. My family requested my Vietnamese noodle bowls for dinner and I'm really happy to share this recipe with you guys. It's already on my blog, so I've got the recipe from my blog pulled up here so I know all the exact ingredients for the marinade. And yeah, so I'm gonna chop up some chicken for myself and my family and get started. And then you'll just pop the chicken in the fridge and let it marinate for a few hours before you cook it. So the second recipe I wanted to show you today is also one of my favorite recipes, and I'm going to use the rest of the leftover chicken from the Vietnamese lemongrass bowls and put it in an Instant Pot. Normally I would cook it fresh, but since I gotta go to the gym, I'm gonna put it in the Instant Pot now so it'll be ready when I get home. I'm gonna put in about 3/4 cup of water to the bottom of the Instant Pot so that way it doesn't stick. I put a little vinegar in there too. I don't really measure it. I've got, like, I say 2 to 3 tablespoons in the recipe. And then I'm going to take this raw chicken, I'm weighing it over here, and then I'm just going to dump it in. Then I'm gonna take all the spices and put them on top. There you go, it's coated. I am going to add a little bit more vinegar here. 14 minutes, that's fine. And then you are good to go. So here I am prepping my low-fat version of Algerian sauce. Why is it called Algerian sauce? No idea, but I ate this with fried chicken all the time when I lived in France. So this is a much healthier version and it hits that craving for French street food. Pre-workout snack time. You might be thinking right now, wait, hold up. Is she about to eat a Pop-Tart? Aren't Pop-Tarts, like, unhealthy? So I take a flexible approach to dieting. I find that when no foods are off limits in my mind, I end up craving things a lot less. I don't eat Pop-Tarts every day, but with coronavirus-related show postponements, I've been eating higher calories and more carbs for the last month. So I've been enjoying the occasional Pop-Tart, and the fast digesting carbs and sugar will help fuel my workout. So I'm gonna eat this Pop-Tart and then head straight to the gym for my leg workout. I always eat the edges first. If you don't eat the edges first, you're eating it wrong. Okay, so the ice maker is broken. And that ran out of battery, awkward. So I just got done with the gym. The workout took me just under an hour, and then I tacked on about 10 minutes of posing practice at the end there because I haven't been practicing my posing as much since the gyms have opened back, because in quarantine I just kind of tacked it on to the end of my workout and it was like really easy. Videoed it and all, you know, because if I don't video it, then how do I know if I'm like doing something weird that I need to fix or whatever?
And honestly, I was really self-conscious. There's no like separate like room at my gym. And a lot of the gyms in my neighborhood have stayed closed. So there's all these new members in my gym right now. It's a very small gym. So I was over there in the corner doing pose and practice. Anyways, I wanted to say with my leg workout, I really don't go as hard on leg workouts as I would say with an upper body workout. My judges' feedback last year was actually that my glutes were maybe a little bit too big. I really have to put my ego aside because I can hip thrust 405 pounds for 5 reps. I have not been hitting close to that volume because we're not trying to grow my glutes right now. And I also don't want to make myself too sore so that I can't push as hard on my upper body workouts. And my upper body is really what's important right now. So I definitely don't go as hard as I would like to on leg days. I gotta take it easy. Okay, wow. So I finally got back from the gym. I had to stop by Whataburger because our ice maker's broken and I'm out of ice. So I went ahead and got a Coke Zero 2 and it is already 5:20. And so normally I would just go ahead and make my pre-workout. I've got the Algerian sauce chicken in the Instant Pot all ready to go to make a crunch wrap, and I was gonna have these little potatoes with it, but it's already dinner time, and since I'm cooking dinner for my family too, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip over the crunch wrap and make the Vietnamese noodle balls, which we're replacing the noodles with rice. And then I'm probably gonna figure out a different kind of dessert with more protein instead of having the crunch wrap. So sorry guys, I'm not gonna show you all the crunch wrap today, but I will show that in another video. Right now, I'm gonna get started on making these Vietnamese noodle bowls and getting dinner ready. And one more thing, after I work out, I always take creatine. I don't take any protein powders. The protein powder that I have is in my fluff at the end of the night. So I take 2 capsules of creatine. I've been taking this since last August after my show ended. I take it in pill form. It's a little bit more expensive in pill form, but I just cannot deal with another powder that I have to mix in water.
Step 1. Cook the chicken that you've been marinating. Step 2. Prep the dressing. I've actually been using less chili sauce and less rice vinegar than my recipe calls for, just because the rice vinegar makes it pretty acidic and I like it this way a little bit better. And then you'll cut up all your veggies and then assemble your bowl. I've been using rice lately. The recipe as it is on my blog is super low carb with miracle noodles, but since I have higher carbs right now, I've been using rice instead. Not gonna lie, I am exhausted with cooking, and I usually love to cook all day, but I've realized that filming is a lot of work, and since it's already almost 7 o'clock, I, cut out the Algerian sauce crunch wrap, and I was thinking about making some pancakes, but that's just too much cooking for me right now, so I'm going to mix some Greek yogurt with some pudding powder mix and chuck it in the fridge for a few hours until I'm ready to eat it, and then top it with some cereal and nut butter. And then I'm going to there's this company that I love. It's called Pro Dough. It's an Etsy shop called Dee's Delicious Delights, and that's where you can go and buy this protein cookie dough. I haven't been making as many protein treats as much just because I love cooking and my carbs are so high right now. But I'm gonna make a serving of this and get a couple cookies out of it.
Okay, so instead of having the Algerian sauce crunch wrap, I'm going to have some yogurt mixed with pudding mix, topped with almond butter and some cereal, and then a side of blueberries. The cookies just came out of the oven. I'm gonna go take these, eat them, and read in another room for a little bit with my sugar cookie tea. Okay, it's 9:30 and I'm finally ready to make my final meal of the day, which for the last 6 months, seriously, since before Christmas, it's been protein fluff of some variation or another. So tonight I'm going to be making caramel protein fluff, which I just recently posted on my page. Recipes also on my blog. But first, I'm going to fill this up with about 250 grams of ice. Then you will blend the ice up in the food processor until it becomes like a snow-like consistency.
So there's 1,000,001 ways to make protein fluff. I've got a few different flavors on my recipe blog, but one thing that stays the same is that I always use PE Science protein because you need a whey casein blend for fluff if you don't want to use a product like xanthan gum. And I don't let my fluff blend for more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I found that longer blending times put too much air into the fluff and leave me with painful bloating. No thank you. Okay, so this is the fluff when it's done, as you can see here. Super fluffy. And then I like to put my fluff in the freezer for 20 minutes to an hour. First, we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna put 10 grams of this on top of the fluff. And I'm gonna take 34 grams of this. Et voila, caramel apple protein fluff. And this concludes our full day of eating. So, I've got my fluff here. If you are interested in seeing more of these videos, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're interested in seeing more full days of eating, there's so many more that I post on my Instagram with the macros. And I always have my fluff for dessert. I'm gonna eat this and then call it a night. See you guys again soon.